Since this year, I can't believe the Harry Potter franchise is becoming a fad on Instagram this time of year because the Harry Potter franchise is now 25 years old. Isn't that amazing? Well, why am I talking about Harry Potter right now? I have no idea. I wasn't much a big fan of the series as a kid, but I did like the train station part where they aren't riding on the Hogwarts Express, but the movie doesn't show much detail. Half the movie's more focused on the castle, but doesn't really focus on the Muggle world. I know it's in London, but London's a pretty unknown city to me. You know, as an American, the only places I know is California and Las Vegas. Las Vegas is definitely the Muggle world because it's so boring. When I came to London, England, it feels like I'm in the Wizarding World full of like really cool stuff I've never seen before. And I have people I've never seen before. Well, I don't know if I want to meet British people or not because when I watch Harry Potter movies, I've always had dreams of meeting British people, but I think British culture is more like a girl culture, not my culture at all. British people are mostly for girls, like the other person lived in my house, not mine. My culture is mostly trains and airplanes and army men and stuff like that, but not British people, of course. But it would be nice if I meet British people. I want to ask them questions if they're train fans. Isn't it kind of interesting that Britain and America are best friends or military allies during the war in Afghanistan? George W. Bush and Tony Blair were close friends, but I don't remember Tony Blair. So he's the Prime Minister of England? Well, what's the British Anglo-American relations? Well, Harry Potter, of course, and what about that Tomb Raider movie? Who cares about Tomb Raider? About a boy who fights robots and policemen? What the hell is this crap? At least Harry Potter, that's a real British movie, not Tomb Raider. He doesn't fight policemen and robots. But he does fight monsters, though. And he's a boy, not a girl. He has a wand, not guns. Who really cares about actresses? Okay, actors, they're 100% boring people. They're one from Los Angeles, California, the one of the most boringest cities in the whole planet. Why do I have to live in Los Angeles anyway? I wish I could live somewhere else, but I had to do a lot of crap for college and stuff like that. I have to stay in LA because there's nice people here, but I don't have any friends in LA. How does my mom know that Los Angeles is my home? There's nobody living there anyway. It's boring as hell. 100%. Okay, enough of Los Angeles. Let's talk about Harry Potter and British culture that's part of the United States. I can't think of any British culture that's part of the United States back in the 2000s era. Were there any pop stars that are very popular? I don't remember any pop music that's big in America. What about the Spice Girls? These girls are very popular. What about that song I have heard in Small Soldiers? That's a famous British song. They're kind of like the Beatles of the 90s and the 2000s era. Well, yeah, like techno music. That song used to be one of my favorite songs as a kid. I know it's a girl's song, but who cares? I did not know it's a British song. I did not know the Spice Girls are British. I thought that's the people who sung that What Do You Want song, What You Want to Be My Lover song. It's actually an American song, but no, it's British. I did not know it was British. Do you guys know Britain import a lot of like pop music to us? They also import like books, like, Harry Potter and stuff like that. Harry Potter is a very famous book franchise here in the United States of America, and they became a film franchise, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? Do you guys think Tom's the Tank? Well, I'm going to talk about a show I used to watch as a little kid called Tom's the Tank Engine. My parents loved that show when I was little. I liked it too. It's kind of cool that my family likes Tom as a Tank Engine. The other kid in my house did not like Tom as a Tank Engine. It likes Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase and Arthur. I don't like those shows. Arthur might be okay. It's about kids, but I never seen it before. It might be better than Tom's the Tank Engine in my opinion, but that person's more into like, I don't know, a bunch of boring TV shows. Tom the Tank Engine's not boring. It has trains in it. Oh yeah, the Wishbone show, and that show about a guy who talks about science. These shows are kind of boring. Who cares about these shows? They're for big kids, not for little kids. I don't know anybody from my preschool years ever watched Tom as a Tank Engine. I was way too close to my mom and dad. Sometimes I get really sad when my mom and dad separates me. Don't you guys agree? When you're a little kid, do you ever get sad when your mom and dad drops you up in preschool? Thinking, I want to hang out with you because you're my best friends of all time. But no, your parents want you to let you go because your parents have their own lives. They have to do the housework, they have to pay the bills, they have to go to work. Mostly grown-up stuff. I guess the moral of the story is to you kids, You need to leave your parents alone. I know they're your best friends, but you need to leave them alone. You need to spend more time by yourself, or you could spend some time with some friends. But when I was in preschool, I have no idea how to make friends with people or talk to other people. Well, because they're strangers to me. I get kind of sad when my mom and dad separates me. I think Arthur should be a show I need to watch as a little kid. Maybe Sesame Street might teach me friendship, but I had no interest in those shows. I was hooked on shows about boats and trains. Do you guys know trains is my biggest interest as a little kid? I'm not lying, it's true. So anyway, let's talk about the difference between Thomas the Tank Engine and Harry Potter. Are Harry Potter fans really Thomas the Tank Engine fans back when they were little kids? Well, Harry Potter is a bit like Thomas the Tank Engine for big kids, don't you think? Do you guys think Harry Potter is a bit like Thomas the Tank Engine? Well, yeah, the same personality, of course, but who's the Sir Topham Hatt and Harry Potter? Probably Hagrid or Professor Snape or Albus Dumbledore. These guys are kind of like Sir Topham Hatt. I've always thought like Snape is kind of like Dumbledore or Professor Snape. Well, I mean, Sir Topham Hatt, like they're kind of like Sir Topham Hatt. It's like Albus Dumbledore or like Hagrid and Professor Snape. These guys are like authority figures towards Harry, but Professor Snape and Dumbledore are the bossiest guys in Harry Potter. And Hagrid's kind of bossy too, like Sir Tom Hatt's bossy towards the trains when they cause trouble. Harry Potter does have trains in it, but they don't talk. Can you imagine Thomas the Tank Engine in Harry Potter? That would be kind of cool, don't you think? Well, back in the early 2000s, I don't know any kids who like Harry Potter. The other kid in my house likes it, but that's a girl. I did not know Harry Potter's a girl franchise. I thought Harry Potter's more like a boy franchise, don't you think? Do you guys think boys would watch Harry Potter than girls? I think some girls want to watch it because it's based on a book by J.K. Rowling. When you think of girls, lots of girls like to read books. Not too many boys like to read books. They like to read comic books and humor comics and watching TV shows and movies and playing video games. Those are the activities that boys like to play, but girls, they like to read books because girls are very smart. Remember Lisa Simpson from The Simpsons? She likes to read Harry Potter books. That's her favorite franchise. Well, she's a girl, of course. It kind of makes sense that Harry Potter is a girl franchise. I wish I could talk more about the difference between Harry Potter and Thomas the Tank Engine. Two of these franchises are British. They have trains in them, they have castles, and they have likable characters like Thomas and Percy and James. They're one of Thomas's best friends. There's hardly no girls in Thomas the Tank Engine, but they do have girls in Harry Potter like Hermione. She's a girl who is one of Ron and Hermione's best friends. So the question is, who is Thomas the Tank Engine's Hermione Granger? I would say Emily. Remember the Green Engine Emily? She's kind of like Hermione Granger, don't you think? What about Mavis? Do you think Mavis is kind of like Hermione Granger? Remember Mavis Diesel Train, who's actually kind of pushy towards Toby? She works in the quarry. Do you remember that girl from Thomas the Tank Engine? Yeah, she's one of my favorite female characters in TV shows ever. Well, I like her design, but she's a bit kind of pushy though. But she looks like an American switcher engine, don't you think? But she's British, not American. The thing about Harry Potter and Thomas the Tank Engine, they are based on children's books that are very popular around the world. And they're also popular in the United States also. So Thomas the Tank Engine's about trains, and Harry Potter, it's about wizards and witches going to school to learn magic. Can you imagine Thomas the Tank Engine going to school to learn how to become a train engineer? That would be cool, don't you guys agree? So maybe on July I can make a Harry Potter Thomas the Tank Engine crossover video on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. What do you guys think? I'm too busy with college stuff. I can't make Lego animations right now, but I'm currently doing vlogs by now, and vlogs are easier to make than Lego animations. I like to talk about stuff. A lot of people on YouTube like to talk about things. I want to talk about things too. I want to be a radio show host or TV show host someday where you get to talk about all sorts of cool things. But YouTube is kind of like an amateur radio show, don't you guys agree? But I'm doing TikToks right now because TikTok is a lot easier than YouTube, don't you think? I'm not very active on Instagram right now, but I do take a lot of pictures though.